afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, host ImperialDane, Master Propaganda Hero Psych, Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to an exciting 2 vs 2 on Semoisky Winter. Definitely not my own favourite 2 vs 2 map, but here we are. In the north, we got Derank Company and Diloph fighting for king and country, the Commonwealth. The Tommy Boys rolling out here with the Guards Army Division tasked with clearing out this series of villages and houses and the defense of the German army here with Melker and ImperialDane himself fighting for Germany. Deutschland. Das Reich here with the Kampfgruppe Meyer tasked with this vital mission for Germany here with the meteor choice of doctrine is Feuersturm and Encirclement Doctrine. Melker here with flamethrowers. Obviously incendiary rounds can be quite useful if the Brits dig in across the village centre. In this case, I like stormtroopers. More importantly, close to the pocket can at times, particularly on this map, be quite helpful in clearing out any dug-in Brits as well. The Brits here got Mobile Assault Commander Regiment, Royal Engineer, more Commander, more Mobile Assault, and Vanguard. So a lot of commanders on choice for the Brits with triple infantry, double infantry grenades. There's a lot of infantry as well, but machine gun, Stug, and infantry production bulletins all around for me just to get stuff out a bit faster. Double section Vickers there for Diloph. Derank with double section Vickers as well, kind of the MD42 for me, and for Melker we got double Sturm Ponies. He rolls into the village there proper aggressively as I focus on the southern fuel, rushing towards that one to very importantly deny it to the Brits in case they try to rush that one as well. Melker here sort of sneaking about trying to take the church here from two sides with the Sturm Ponies trying to get close as possible. That we're doing extra much damage. We got Vickers, they're setting up, they're going to catch the Sturm Ponies there. And we can see the fact that Melker will very quickly be threatened here by two players. I'm focusing initially just on the fuel hits, and long term that's going to be important for us, but obviously I'm going to have to support Melker here in the centre very rapidly, very soon. Of course, a big difference between us and the Allies right now is, of course, we have doctrines chosen, we have got plans formulated quite strictly there, compared to the Allies who are so far just sort of a bit more winging it, perhaps. Of course, I mean, they might still have a strategy, but they're not sort of making any overt moves towards it. Sturm Pioneers rolled back. Third section there for Derank and a University there for Diloph. As they focus in the centre there, with the Diloph, they're focusing on the west as well there. And I'm slowly now beginning to troops in here, kind of slightly putting pressure on the west side, and mortar following up to apply pressure to the Allies. If they're going to dig in the northern village, again, the mortars is going to be quite helpful in digging them out. In fact, I'm going to go for double mortars since that is quite a potent combination, but also, of course, provide ample artillery support for Melker. With another focus go on the way there for Melker. In the western section moving in there, we got the University out here for Diloph. Both allied players will have teched up, or are in the process of taking up. Diloph continue to launch assault after assault here through the centre. Grenadiers moving in to support. Initially I was going to try and actually move up and secure the west side, but here with the Diloph pressuring up the west side, I'm going to try and move in some Grenadiers to provide support there to ensure that Melker isn't completely run out. It is quite, of course, important in a team game to provide support as much as possible for a teammate if possible. Second mortar on the way there for me, and lastly I'll be setting up a mortar battery to that way provide a sort of stable fire support base in the centre. Becker's opening up from inside the house, Grenadiers moving westwards here to get up behind and sort of support here. University hammering away from up north here for Diloph and the Guards army. Mortar fire there begin to rain down on British positions. And there you go, Panther fighting in the University going to try and finish it off. Second mortar running there for Germany, Deutschland. Sappers on the way there for Diloph. Probably help repairs Universal Carrier. In the centre section keeps pressuring onwards. Then there you go. Trying to get close. For some reason the Grenadiers just stop up and do not fire the Panther fast, allowing the Universal Carrier to get away. Slight nuisance there for me. Melker though takes advantage of this gap here being made by me to sort of further push ahead. Grenadiers sneaking in here to further support. Flank the machine as mortar fire continues to rain down as very deadly raindrops. Sappers up for Derank Company as well. Now the British players yet to commit to a doctrine. Melker's forces moving up, they're shattering the windows from the incendiary grenade in the far east. Points them being secured by Derank Company and the British. MD42 remains here for now. And mortar fire continues to rain down across the centre, forcing Derank Company to retract his machine gun for now. So quite a bit of action here in the opening moments of the game. Battle Group Headquarters will soon be up here for him, and we got take up as well for me with another Pioneer Squad, so don't have to immediately retreat the other Pioneer Squad, plus have more Pioneers repairing stuff down the road. Quick sprint here, charging ahead for Germany, Deutschland, and for some reason the Pioneers scattered themselves out and manner that actually means the parts of the squad will like to do less damage than when they're up close. So maybe we should get up close with some machine and pistol in. Yeah, maybe, Fritz. Maybe. There you go, up close. The pioneers do a bit better versus the section here. Got the northern fuel point here as well. Continuing up with Norfolk's there. Grabbing the victory point here. Pushing up for the munitions. And there you go. Pioneers actually take out Derank's section. Gunning them down in cold blood for the fatherland. And of course here Don Morse will prove to be a continuous asset for Derank company. Will he try to rush them? In fact, I've got my mortars here actually quite heavily exposed. But so far he does... Oh, there we go. It's moving in there slowly. Like to make a nice company up. We got the Belgian headquarters going up there for Melker, setting up in this case so he can support both me and himself with medics. A lot of mortar on the section which does not go from a mortar body. It does not. Harold, maybe we should try to take out those Jerry mortars. Maybe we should. And maybe you should shut the bloody hell up. There we go though. Shifting on the machine to support, allowing the mortars to fall back to slightly save position. Of course that means this area is more vulnerable, but I kind of want to keep my mortars intact and not necessarily have to retreat them right away. Plus ensure that the entire village centre doesn't completely collapse under Derank company and Dilophosaurus' assault, so the machine gun gets repositioned, accepting there might be a chance of something nasty happening there. Nothing I'd like to make a nice company yet for me though. Melker here, adding flamethrowers, going for the light infantry gun. The lightest infantry shots. Cuff one up there, also being harassed and cut off. Further good work there. We got no sign of any sort of requisition there for either allied player. We got an anti-tank gun on the way for Dilophosaurus. We got a section caught by both Grenadier squads. And of course we got the mortar battery there, ready to hammer away at anything suspiciously British. Medics on the way there. Could go for half T, could also go for the 222. We got Pioneers here versus the Vickers machine gun. In this case the solution is to flank up with the Grenadiers behind the Vickers and deal with that. Lightest machine and Gewehr on the Wench 2, and Pioneers finding a heroic fight in the centre against the section here. Universal Carrier there standing about. Interesting enough, no upgrades there from Dilophosaurus on the Universal Carrier. Tends to be very common with the Brits there. Incredibly common. Back here, nothing further going on. And going to flanking the Vickers, sending that running. Got a 2-2 on the way there. Like to punch his B-Wagon for some mobilisation. Then we got a mortar plate up on the other side of the ice lake, ready to plunge death down into the German lines. Part of attack fact built on the ice. Wait, if we're building it on ice, where's the dirt inside? How do we even build a mortar emplacement on ice? How does this even work? Shut up, Jeremy. Don't ask too many questions or the Canadians will do unspeakable things to you. Grenadiers left hold on their own there. Push for the centre again here. Machine guns, mortars, 2-2. Grenadiers wielding light machine guns, all shifting in. The machine gun now taking up position in the church, realising they're not putting a lot of pressure on the fuel, interestingly enough, but are focusing heavily on the centre. I can sort of shift machine guns away from there, making it hard for them to win. Grenadiers remain here on the defensive as the 2-2 with infantry support pulls in. 6-pounder gun carrying north. We got a half-track on the way to support the German army. They come for Maya here. And there you go, 2-2 rolling in, aggressively engaging the section up close, cutting them down. Half-track sneaking about. He's probably saying, how much pants, Panzer headquarters somewhere. Ralph grenades go off against the machine gun, doesn't quite do much here. Section repulsed with the 2-2 gun inside house, half-track almost done. And one squad there repulsed. Schwer punted towards fact setting up on the bridge. Not the best spot to set up, to be honest. I mean, it's going to be pretty difficult for other vehicles to get past, to be honest. Savage versus the 2-2-2. And there we go. Incendiary artillery there being unleashed upon the mortar emplacement. Up north. I doubt that one can sink though. That would be pretty interesting to watch a mortar emplacement just sort of tip over and sink somehow. But it's taking a lot of damage. It's not bracing it up yet. We got the half-track there moving in, supporting here the infantry and mortar troops here, grabbing points for Deutschland. Allied players have yet to commit to a doctrine though. Have yet. They remain undoctrinal. Got a fresh incendiary barrage shell. This time though, Derank company braces the mortar for fire. How do you do that? Alright chaps, bring out the asbestos carpets and asbestos underwear. Remember, it is completely safe and there will be no long-term ills you will suffer from. Anything opposite is Nazi propaganda. Brent guns out here for Dilophosaurus. And we got Melker's forces there being equipped with MP40s. First doctrine chosen here is for Dilophosaurus. We got commandos. Mobile assault specifically, there's options for commandos then. Push into the centre again. Mortar players, they continue to lay down death here. More terrified against the mortar placement, almost getting it. They're almost getting it. Section being taken up by mortar fire. Need to reinforce the mortar. He's taking a bit of fire there, makes a bit of surprise he can reach there. Fine, there you go. Mortar's wiped. I tried to reinforce. Got one mortar saved. And then a weird bug actually happens here. Basically, a third mortar appears somehow. I only had 2 mortars in place, but I suppose somewhere in the whole reinforcement process and just old stuff dying, a third mortar managed to just vanish out of not vanish, but actually appear out of thin air. I'm not entirely sure how, but that's sort of my best guess. There just some process went wrong, and suddenly I have access to potentially 3 mortars. I had a really big laugh at that while it happened, by the way. Really big laugh. That is just... I've never seen that happen before. I've never seen it happen. But happen it did. And obviously I'm just recruiting it because if I don't do it, my opponent's likely going to steal it. And I don't want them stealing my mortars. To ensure the Pioneer support team with the commanders to try to hit the field point here. Up north, we've got Royal Artillery or Royal Engineers for Derank Company. West side, though, could see more pressure here, but that match more sort of Melker's territory. In the east, Grenadiers finding after us a section to rolling support. 6 gun camp guarding him. We got Vickers there, and we got more incendiary just raining down on the mortar plate, and even using here Stand Fast, so it automatically repairs. It's definitely making it really difficult to take out for sure. And Melker obviously wants it dead. He wants it gone. Orbital in the ramming here. Still no sound of armor for either side yet. Then we got take up here. We got support armor caught up. We got company command posts up for both British players. In fact, Derank can go straight for centre if he wants to. Mortar placement almost down, but it takes a lot of punishment. He's not like Kedneff, and I'm starting to consider we shouldn't just put mortars to help, put an end to this thing. And there you go. Derank goes for the Cromwell. Guard time rolling out. He got full with 54 being shredded in the open ice. No chances there. No chances. There you go. Mortar placement utterly explodes. McKenna for repulsed. Infantry up, mortars slightly falling back. We got the half taking about here as well, trying to support if necessary. Can of course also provide reinforcement for Melker's troops. But yeah, triple mortars. Triple mortars just laying down a carpet of death here against the Allies as they try to push into the village. Of course, British mortars are gone, so that gives us now, well, rather severe artillery superiority. Thanks to the mortar machine, and then the reinforcement here in the East Grenadiers doing stuff. You got telemines being laid down here by the Pioneers to make it harder there for the Croms. I mean, I pretty much anticipate this is going to be the spot we might try, so I mind up that one. West being secured here, again aggressive harassment before heading for the fuel pump, which is much more viciously defended by the Allies, hitting the calf point up there, which is actually a lot lighter defend, is a good idea. We got a second mortar emplacement built here by the Allies. This time the Dilophosaurus goes for it. Crumbling up these, they're going to need to fall back. Panther on the way for Germany, at least for my side. As for Melker, there's also Panther on the way there. They got more mortar fire here, just blasting the northern village premises to dust. And Crom listening through, but there you go, hits a telemine. Thusly proving the telemine was a pretty good idea there. Artillery being called in the centre. Healing reinforcement going on here. Troops healing reinforcing as well. We got the Panther Force almost done. There we go. In fact, they more or less arrive at the same time and actually cause a bit of congestion there for each other. Slowly delaying things a bit. Had a mind there. Probably could have gotten the Cromwell actually. But there you go, he's popping vehicle crew repairs. Smoke called in. Mortars should probably split out a bit more. I'm actually leaving things very open for an artillery strike. That is pretty weak of me, to be honest. But there you go, Melker's transforming to do with the section there. Other transforming eastwards with Pioneer Grenadier support. Look, Helmut, how's Iran when they're faced with the might of the German Panzerwaffe? Yeah, but that's probably also a bit related to the fact they have no anti-tank weapons. Yeah, well, you know, our German Grenadiers would have Panzerfaust. Yeah, well, you know, the Tommies never were that inventive. Or good at stealing, either. Sappers in the mortar plane. He's just really doing everything he can just to soup it up, just for extra firepower. Setting up for an assault here, gonna try and sort of hit up through here. Cromwell setting up again. 6-pounder gun, they're covering up, and we got Grenadiers Pioneers bringing as well. Mortar nearby as well, splitting up this better, so there's still quite a bit of artillery support for the eastern side. And there go Grenadiers pulling Pioneers as well, and there go, I'm setting up for flank using the 2-2 and the Panther IV. And I kind of figure if the 2-2 can flank the Cromwell, actually a chance of doing some extra damage, which it kind of ends up doing. And there you go, Cromwell's actually down to less than half health from a few shots from this. And there you go, in fact, almost get the Cromwell in a matter of shots with this. Plus, there's also an important thing in this case, because he sees the 2-2 as the easy target. He targets the 2-2 with his Cromwell first, resulting in my Panther IV taking less hits despite there's a 6-pounder gun here, which allows me to actually survive here with the Panther IV, which would not have been possible if not for the 2-2-2. Got a 6-pounder gun, got a Cromwell out of this, supporting here by Melker's Panther IV. Very nice sort of move there by him. They'll need to destroy the 6-pounder gun completely, though Melker is on that one already as well. Finding in the centre here though, right, Allies pulled through, and there you go. More or less forced off the field here. We got more artillery raining down here. Melker needs to pull back his troops before they get annihilated. He's going for a flamhead here to burn out those Tommy rats. And there you go, catching a few anti-tank guns here. Several penetrating hits. Panther IV, they need repairs. Pioneers been to reinforce. And we got storms from there as well to harass the cutoff point up north. I mean, it's a very vulnerable point, and again, it forced them to divert detention resource towards here to actually get out any fuel. Lastly, it's a pretty good point to hit. All of a sudden, folks, they're being repulsed, and the Allies sweep into the village centre. But we got the mortars, the machine guns, and everything else being pulled in there. Allies are suffering some losses, in particular Derank company has suffered, I think, brutally here. Comparatively, me and Melker are currently in a much better condition. In the east, we got heavier fighting us, and then the push here from Derank company, of course, got the Panther IV, the half to in there to support, though a lack of infantry makes it a bit harder up north. Stormtroopers here versus the US coach, but has yet to be upgraded at all, which I actually find a bit interesting. Goes for them, and in fact, they have to treat them soon, since they're actually losing out here. In part because most of the unit actually wasn't properly in cover. And there you go, flamheads out for Melker. Initially, they really, I think, support the 17th SS Panzergrenadier Division when they're trying to clear out the Maginot Line. They're doing Operation Nordwind, as that's pretty much what they're designed for, clearing out the Maginot Line bunkers. Fun fact there. Not a lot of them were made either. I think there's roughly like 14 made of them. Incredibly rare vehicle made specifically just for one purpose. Panther IV number 2 on the way here for Germany. Deutschland. Melker's not going to be going for anyone anytime soon. Victory points wise, there's a small lead here for the German army. Panther IV is good to go. You can see Melker swimming in from the west to clear out the village here. Flamheads of Panther IV just engaging the Tommies as they are found in craters, holes and whatnot. Panther IV trying to avoid the 6-pounder gun. No additional armor for the Derank company. Diloph not really going for any tanks either as of yet. Is he planning something a bit heavier there? Anvils, that could in fact be a Churchill tank he's planning here to soak up some fire from the German. The Panzerwaffe. And there you go, Vickers being pushed out of the house here, which will allow him to just sweep in. And then push out the anti-tank. And there you go, Stormtrooper squad arrives for immediate infantry Unterstützung. And we see Melker's Panther IV moves in as well here. Very eager to provide support, and there you go. Almost got a sapper section there. Go wipe. Derank company continues to suffer excruciating losses here at the hands of the Kampfgruppe Meier. Formed up of elements of the Field Grenadier Brigade and the 12th SS, I guess. Maybe let's just say the Panzer there. Storms moving in. They got the Panzer IV falling back. Flamhead spawns. We've got the Panzer IV moving in. Burning like the 6-pounder gun there, horrifically so. Fulton's moving in as well. Huge losses further here, just piling up on the Allies. And there you go, Flamhead hits from the 6-pounder gun station on the ice. A bit precariously. And there you go, Flamhead goes up in, well, flames. Anti-tanks being crewed. Melker's Panzer IV, they're taking quite a few heavy hits here. And whack again, artillery fire ring down there, up north. Falling a bit back here with the Panzers. And now we got a unit just defending that carve point. And there you go. Diloph here going for the Churchill tank. Derank company. In theory, could be aiming here for the aviary, I suppose. Which is going to take some time before it hits out. Commander's in the field point there. 300 points left here for the Thomas for the Guards army. They're so far struggling here and clearing out the Kampfgruppe Meier. Heavily dug in with tanks and artillery. And of course, viciously armed infantry. Churchill tank that's almost done here. Both me and Melker actually lack weapons to really deal with it. We don't have a lot of anti-tank guns. Any of those guns serve as a Churchill. Plus, we don't have a lot of tanks with a lot of high penetration. No Stooks, no Yak Panthers, no Panthers. So in that regard, the Churchill could in fact be a rather strong choice. It can actually soak up a lot of damage from just the Panzer Force. Direct hit from the 6-pounder gun on the Panzer IV. They need to fall back for repairs. Sappers with P8s creeping through here the broken landscape. A wasteland that was once northern Semoisky. In east we got another big push here. Storms are running through here. We got Baker defending some infantry from supporting eastly. Panzer Force being a bit hill of bay here. And there you go. Stormtroopers tactical advancing, but it's not working out well. Forced retreat, and that could end up as a wipe here. Cut rush it with the Panzer Force in theory, and we got here Stuka drop called in. Or Stuka rocket strike, I mean, not Stuka drop. Stuka rocket strike here on the northern side of the. There we go. Creek, and there you go. Almost got the machine gun crew, but it does force him to fall back here. Calling over the assault beam on the west, though. We got the breakthrough attempt here. Churchill doing what it does, which is soak up damage and just large German positions into dust, but there's a lack of support for the Churchill tank, which rather undercuts. They could run out and try and just pop a grenade on it. Diloph here by adding land mattresses for some more severe rocket fire. We got a third Panzer IV on the way for me. Melker here with another Panzer IV as well there. So we got soon 5 Panzer IV here for the German army. Though of course the Churchill can reasonably well deal with them. They're still going to need some support here. It seems like here he slightly takes the bait, getting hit there with the 6-pounder gun. Should keep the Churchill tank as much repaired as possible at all times. 200 points left for the British, though that is starting to look a bit rough for them. In the south here, points being secured. Panzer IV shifting away there to provide support here in the west. Section taking a nasty hit. Artillery fire there from the mortars and the light infantry guns. He's got 2 now as well, meaning there's 5 light artillery pieces. And there you go. We got a flame mortar there being called in on the position here, which you can spot thanks to the commandos. Setting up for a bigger push into the west actually. And land matters fire here as my troops being further bunched up here. And straight into all of this, quite nasty in fact, just as sitting the storm trap to support my panzer assault up for the west, and it just goes completely to hell. Nicely funneling there my troops into small area there with the mortar and plate or flame mortars, taking out all my mortars, my machine gun, and my half track. Absolutely devastating strike there against me, though. Still got most of my tanks and still got some infantry that was still quite unpleasant. And Derank company with this call team, the Churchill Aviary steals machine gun. So now none of the artillery is being stolen. And there you go, 3 Panzer Force line up. He's sending in his own Panzer Force as well. There's going to need repairs for the one of them. So that was an absolutely horrific strike. Absolutely horrific. Churchill sitting out there for Derank company. Setting up the Panzer forces to clear whatever's north. Then my plan is to basically sneak up, hitting up through here. Then use breakthrough alongside, close the pocket to hit here, and then try and catch any stuff that might be sort of caught here. If there's anything there, really. Though we'll just deliver a crushing strike. Sometimes people just surrender if you sort of make an impressive knock strike and use close the pocket. So that's basically my sort of plan. Is basically to launch a really sort of big psychological strike on my opponent using breakthrough and close the pocket. We'll have to see if it works out. If it ends up terribly. But they certainly took quite a bit of wind out of me. I didn't lose a lot of infantry. Still losing all the support weapons does hurt. Panzer force comes up here. We got the AB rolling up for the centre here.
Flame mortars can be called to attack enemy structures.
Got the eastern side that's still defended. Could lay down some mines if he wanted, but of course I'm staying up for close the pocket. Almost done here with the 3 Panzer force.
Churchill tank ready for orders.
And we are go, sort of roughly. Shots bouncing off the rear of the Churchill, shots bouncing off the front. Panzer forces don't do well against them. There you go. Hitting the car point there, closing the pocket. Need to keep moving, no need to start. Of course, the trick is managing 3 Panzer forces at the same time. And for some reason, the pathing just, sort of messes up there as well, which does make it easy. Churchill taking a lot of damage, ready 2 there. Main gun out though. And whoa! Somehow, luckily enough, eventually 2 Panzer forces managed to avoid the mine because for some reason, it's like a weird turn there. Here's Panzer force more into support here. Got Semoisky hiding out up north. Could theoretically get hit there by the rockets. Panzer force fall back. You can see Melker taking advantage of this sort of pull ahead here. Church being under fire. Troops being about here out in the open. Right in fact into the zone there. Close the pocket. Will anything hit them? Watch and find out. As opposed, still some rockets go off. They're still meant to connect points. And there you go. Rockets flying. Doesn't really do anything, sadly. Ends up being a waste here. And the center email Derank company's just sort of like blazing his way through the rest. So, while it was, I think, a valiant attempt, ultimately, though, it didn't work out. I probably shouldn't have done. I should have done that at all. It's not a probably. I just shouldn't have done that. I mean, I still got most of my tanks, my infantry, but that really did not work out. So that ended up rather poorly. They lost another Panzer IV there. Not the most well executed assault. Storms had almost been marked here by the AVRE. This is just blasting them apart easily up close without taking any damage from it. Eastern victory point secured as well here. Troops backfilling reinforcement, getting the Panzer IV fixed up. Veterans 2. And of course requires a rather large shift in strategy and tactics to deal with the AV. Now also the Church again, 2 Churchill tanks, which again the Panzer IVs aren't particularly good at dealing with. Again, shots just bouncing off the AVRE. Panzer almost good to go. Stormtroopers reinforcing, healing up. So yeah, that didn't work out. Again, it was sort of more of a spur of the moment thing. Again, it sort of really seemed clever on paper, but again, I should have realised there was been no way it would have any effect. So that was just a waste of resources. And certainly gave the Allies some breathing space. And obviously didn't completely set us off, but it would, I think, rather costly for little effect, which is obviously not good. Another Panzer IV there on the way though. At this point, that's definitely another missing issue becoming for Stuks to help counter them, but I'm still worried about the infantry and so what the Panzer IVs. But I really should be going for Stuks at this point since the Panzer IVs, as part of these always starting to rage, so of course it should be aware, of course, aren't exactly amazing versus Churchill tanks. In fact, quite the opposite. And we got here, holy moly, someone actually using advanced cover combat versus the Panzer IV close and the gun supporting. That's not going to work out too well here, I think, for Diloph. And there you go, full section wipe. Utter annihilation at the hands of the Panzer IV crew. In the centre we got more troops bringing in here. Panzer IV stormtroopers. Light infantry gun no crew here by Melker. We got another centre bears off. We got trenches covering the north up here. We got the ADRE rolling through. Looking for easy targets. Finds them and wipes the mortar there easily. Utterly destroying it. Panzer IV trying to be with the Churchill up close. Fails to penetrate. March. And there we go. Commanders charging through, but they're taking him down to the boat. Do none of this pop grenade here on line for gun. Doesn't quite work off though. Does not quite work out. And we got this Firefly on the way for Diloph, so now support the church, which can soak up all the damage, while the Firefly then deals all the damage. Mechanized raiding up there for Melker, troop shielding reinforcing. Moving in to clear out some of the stuff guarding the victory point in the centre. Trying to deal with the aviary. And right here again, I go for another attempt to close the pocket this time though. I know there's something you actually destroy in this case, it's the stuff here. The precision being set up, the anti-tank gun, the trench section. Getting the car point there. And there we go. Just as it finishes, gets destroyed, section annihilated, 6-pounder gun out. Derank company suffers horrific losses. Crippling losses. The only thing that survives in that little pocket is his Churchill aviary because it's so absolutely tough. Other Churchill tank that's pumping in the air takes no hits really there, though there's close, got a 6-pounder gun moving up. A lot of rockets, a lot of death. Change somehow survives all of the Stuka rockets, all of the Panzerwerfer rockets. Panzerwerfer Stormtrooper is moving in here. So that one was a lot more better. Again, it was also much smaller in scope and all that, less fancy, but it had a bloody effect there. Gutting D-rank company, but destroying most of his stuff, and again, taking out that forward assembly. Aviator creeps up, gonna fire, and wipes my Stormtroopers, while the section standing in more or less the same spot, by the way, are utterly unharmed. Sometimes the whole friendly fire thing makes little sense. And now I've barely got any infantry. So now I've taken staggering losses thanks to that aviary and some other bits. I've still got the Panther Force, but still I'm going to have to go for Stooks, and obviously I also need to replace all of my infantry losses. Melker and Nemot's got a stronger force, though he's also been suffering. In fact, now it's Diloph who's got the overall bigger force. It was the strongest force out of all four. Corpses and debris that litters most of the map. Now there's a lot of parts of it that have basically seen a combat in some way or the other. Quite the battlefield, quite the battlefield. Panzer going in on the way here. Taking out the Panzers. Bit of rationing up north there again. We got the Veteran Free Universal Carrier there. Still not upgraded, by the way. I'm actually amazed that the Dilophosaurus are just not upgraded at any point. Landmass, they're firing away. Bombarding the area here, which Melker now mostly occupies. That and the dead. The cemetery at this point has been largely desecrated. Tombstones are mostly gone. I imagine the occupants, if they were down there, would be worked by now. We got a Comet on the way here though for D-rank, so he's going hammer tactics. I should soon be going for a Stug. I really need a Stug. Also, besides, I need more infantry. Trenches are still occupied. Still no Stug for me though. I really need one. Partly just to help deal with the Churchill area and the other Churchill, obviously. And there you go. Stug found on the way here for the Kampfgruppe Meyer. Panzer will need to deal with the infantry out in the open. 21 kills closing match 3.
The enemy cut our supply line.
Section there getting obliterated out in the open by the 2 Panther Force. Shoots them, leave no survivors. What if they want to be taken prisoner? Stuffs them in Syria or something. Section there getting blasted up by the Panther Force. Pioneers moving in. Got the aviary and got the com moving in. Stug almost done. Still got a mine there, by the way. Section out in the open, that's the 2 Panther Force. There Aviary arrives. Got another land matches out here for the Dilophosaurus. And he moves into it. He hits the mine. Aviary the shoot stuns the Panther Force, but still, Comet there up close versus 2 Panther Force. Shot bouncing though. Another hit there. Stug rolling, finally hitting the battlefield there. Second shot from the Veggie 2 Panther Force bounces off again. Hit from the Comet in the hand does not. And there you go. The Comet goes down. Comet goes down. Aviary, they're taking hits from the Panther. Got the 6-pounder gun support. Need to fall back with the Panther 4 here. Getting stuck up though. Getting stuck up. Trying to bypass, and it's not where he got Storm, so around to deal with the 6-pounder gun. Panzer getting bunched up. We got the AV firing, and terrible perfing there. Takes out both Panzer IVs. Gaining that one, Vetsi 2. Huge staggering loss from me again. More rockets flying here though. Not really doing too much there for Melker. Stug arrives, but it's too late. More rockets just decimating the area, pounding it to, well, pancakes. If there's anything there that wasn't already flat. But very difficult to maneuver in there, and also at this stage I'm beginning to suffer some lag due to all the deformation of the terrain which my computer struggles with. So it's just beginning to be more difficult just to manage all of the tanks. Avia there being repaired. Even for slight repairs, he's just doing it like that. Firefly hanging back, and we also got the Churchill there being repaired up. Now it's Melker though with all the tanks, whereas I'm now going for all the Stugs, I guess, plus of course infantry, stormtroopers, Panzer Grenadiers, and whatever few Grenadiers are left. Victory points whilst we still have the lead here against the Allies. But they overall have the larger forces. 19 kills in the AV. Artillery called in the victory point. Just to completely block it off. North we've got the Panther 4 sending in his zone. Now the Stug on the way there. Churchill going for the Panther 4. Shot penetrates. Panther 4 somehow managed to re-armor hit against all odds. Second shot that has no such luck, and the Panther 4 using the 4 back fence, taking out here, but the now ace Churchill crew. Stug running and trying to support here. Panther 4's moving in, and there you go. Panther 4 kaput. A loss there from Melker. He's not going to be able to easily replace at this stage of the fight. Fine going on there. Stormtroopers, rifle grenades going off. Churchill there being pushed back here by the Stug. Second Stug almost done. There's still some time here. Still some time. There you go. Panther fast off, damaging the engine. Stug continue to move ahead here for Germany. Second Stug arriving. Got the Firefly map. We got the Fulton supporting as well. 6-pounder gun being moved in. We got the mortar plate, and they're still hanging about with a Kedner right in front of it, like some sacrifice to some horrible British god. And there you go, Stug going here for the Firefly. Knowing that the Firefly has a much lower rate of fire than the Stug, I just go for it. We'll take out the Firefly. That's going to be pretty big. 6-pounder gun gets a hit and also target weak point. Just looking harder for the Firefly to have a chance responding. There you go. Blinds it. Churchill shoots. Bounces off the Stug. Panther 4 rolling in. Gets hit in the Churchill from the front. There you go. Firefly down. Firefly down. Stug goes here for the Universal Cup North, which I realise is then. Second Stug moves in. Takes out the AVRE. Still can't get that Universal Carrier though. Mein Gott, Fritz. Shoot properly. There we go. Gaining Vetsi 2 shoots, and on the Stug, the Universal Carrier there is kaput. Panzer there versus the Vickers, getting suppressed rapidly there by the Vetchny 3 Vickers crew. Also then pushing back the commandos. Stug was rolling back for repairs that are desperately needed. So a bit of quiet here. Victory points being secured. Vehicles being shifted back and forth. Coming back here for repairs by the Mechanized Repair Regiment or headquarters. More Panzer Grenadier, more artillery raining out. We got 2 land matches hereby for Dilophosaurus. 2 land matches plus the mortar emplacement. And we got the house firing. There's just so much artillery raining down across this map. Mortars, land mattresses, howitzers, just everything is fire. Toss in the closer pockets. This is just artillery bonanza. This is just hell on earth with artillery. And the frame rate from my computer certainly says it all. There you go, unit a lot here with the AVRE, which I suppose is also another type of artillery. Just so much artillery. So much artillery. Going up for the south, the Stormtroopers, Pioneers moving in. Stug being repaired out, almost good to go. Flanking here the Vicksburg with the Stormtroopers, charging in for the fatherland. There we go. Get in, sir, schnell, up to the faces, then shoot them into faces. It's a true German way. And there you go. Tactical advance right up close. Does the trick, annihilates the Vetchny 3 machine gun crew in a matter of seconds. before they have a chance to react and realise what's going on there. Aviator, they're being rushed back here. Stukes, they should be able to support here. At least should get in there fast enough to actually deal with the Aviator. Centre on the way for Derank Company. Sabbath's being moved in. Third Stuk on. At this point, I'm just not bothering with anything but Stukes. If it's not a Stuk, I'm not getting it. Like, Panthers at this stage, for example, would be utter suicide. Like, they wouldn't be able to do enough damage to the churches for it to matter. As an example. Or the infantry anyways, in which case I might as well just go for a bunch of Stuks, equip the machine guns if need be, and just, you know, blast it into submission.
We're losing a capture point.
Now the church is there for the Dilophosaurus and the Guards Armored Division. Abattoir lightning against the Commandos. Stuks heading in here to deal with the Churchill Aviary and everything else is supporting it. And the infantry support for there, caught the Aviary, shots penetrating. So penetrating hits are taking down to roughly half health. Mine hit though, mine hit. And there you go, he's using emergency war speed to get his Churchill the devil out of there. Trying to pull back the Stuks. Need to get some infantry in there though. And there's one Panzer going to do squat, which is on the move. Third Stuk of ramming up. There we got another Churchill there finally rang for Dilophosaurus. Artillery just continues to be heaped upon the map. I'm using the frame rates of my poor computers. It can't keep up with all of this.
Emplacement under attack.
And there you go, big infantry push here from me. Stuks rolling back, Stuks rolling about. Positive dealing with advancing infantry. Anti-tank guns, sappers with PS moving in as well here. Infantry being repulsed here, and there you go. Sprinting into the House of Night to the Allies and also just ambush some of the anti-tank guns. As well as my forces just sweep in. Stuk there waiting repairs. Other Stuks there ready to push ahead for the fatherland. Gets the damage Stuk though, but he loses one anti-tank gun there. In fact, Dilophosaurus and Derank have both sent in everything they can to take out those Stuks, probably realising the Stuks are the biggest threat to all of their Churchills. There you go. Firefly. ABM actually cancelled the centaur for Firefly. Pun's going to do these guns moving in there. Going to crew one of the anti-tank guns. Stuk's going for the kill. There you go. Using the Panzer is going to do save. Oh! ABM shoots but misses. Stuk's going in. Anti-tank recruit. Landing several hits on the Firefly, which of course is the biggest priority. The AV just shot, so he can't immediately fire again. Almost got the Firefly. Fires the rockets, but only gets one off before it gets taken out. More hits down the Churchill. Now being aggressively pursued here by the Stuks. Down to less than half health. Down to less than half health. Stuk by here is ace now. Veterancy 3. And there you go. I'm using Breakthrough. I want that bastard dead. I do not want to let it get away there. So I'm rushing in a veterancy 3 Stuk with Breakthrough, which means it's actually really fast. Trying to take it out. There you go. Direct hit though. Stuns it. But it's almost dead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send in the healthiest Stuk to take it out to finish the job while I then pull back the ace, which is not going to survive any mistakes. We've got the other Churchill moving in. Could need support here with the other Stuk to deal with that. There you go, rushing into the base. Avery escapes Stuk. They're trying to take a safer route. Crashes a few Brits against the sides of the platoon command. And there you go, catch the Churchill by chance. I have no idea what it is, but I'm assuming it's somewhere around there. We go. Churchill Avery finally goes down. I tried to actually destroy here the land matches, but I can't hit them. The smoke from the aviary is blocking out. We got a King Tiger out here for Melker. King Tiger out. Grenades being lobbed to hit the Raketenwerfer. Fails to hit. And I just get out of the base here using the Stuk. Breakthrough is amazing as an ability. I love it. And there you go. The ally surrenders. The ally surrenders. Loss here for King Country. The Guards Armored were defeated, but at heavy cost to the fatherland. A lot of tanks and infantry did bite the dust, but the Brits also suffered rather insurmountable losses, which they will not be easily able to replace. So a brutal engagement here with a lot of losses on both sides. I end up suffering those, but I also end up almost doing the most kills besides Dilophosaurus. Damage-wise, it wasn't quite on the same level either, but in the end, we pulled through there, and victory points and the initial advantage we were able to gain. A lot of damage. I obviously made a bunch of mistakes. The particular big one here with all the 3 Panzers wasn't again the break. The attempt there that was completely botched. There should also gone for Stuks faster. I should have gone for Stooks first. That was definitely, I think, another mistake here. But I mean, there were some other issues here and there. And I mean, Melker though played pretty well with his good units to very fluently grab and support wherever needed. It's actually one of his really good skills. He's very good at sort of sensing when he can support and just swoop in and sort of do it. So very good work there. The Allies I think was just a bit too caught up on artillery, not enough to build up any serious armoured force, which made it easier for me and Melker to deal with it. I think there was also a lack of Bren guns for the infantry, and at times they just too focused in the centre, which also allowed us to focus on the fuel. That way also building an advantage, and I think would also in the longer run proved critical. Also important is neither of us tried to play for Panthers. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed these rather insane 2 versus 2 there. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Share it with your friends. And if you like what I do, wish you support, consider donating or pledging on Patreon. Links in the video description. Every bit helps me keep doing this. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye.